with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
So we can't seem to get away from Kanye stories because things keep happening. And after his wild presidential rally, West headed to his ranch in Wyoming, where he got a very special visit from a man named Dave Chappelle. And the visit comes as his family reported fears that West is going through a mental breakdown. Kanye gave that emotional speech we talked about in a bizarre campaign rally in South Carolina, talking about how he, wanted to abort his daughter North and then saved her, and he was crying. A source tells The Sun that Kanye fled to the couple's ranch because he's very paranoid and is convinced he needs protection from Kim and her mom, Chris, even though they're trying to help him. Here's a clip from the video taken by West as he tries to get Chappelle to say something profound and uplifting. It's a little uncomfortable, but, it seems Dave's happy to be there for him.
We need you. Just give us one thing to lift our spirits, Dave, please.
Uplifting joke. Now, I don't write them.
Okay, what we gonna do then? That was good right there.
That was it.
Couldn't even laugh. Because the people always be like having these pictures and they do a fake smile and be genuine. Right on. All right, let's do the fake smile. I love you. Thanks for coming out and checking on me.
Didn't he went on a tweet storm where he's talking about Kris Jenner releasing his daughter's porn tapes and stuff like that? Were we talking about that?
Yeah, and then he said, my daughters are never going to do Playboy. And then, he had a lot of thoughts about Kris Jenner. He had some thoughts about...
And now that I realize, in this day and age, everything is kind of memorialized in the form of a tweet or video or Facebook post or Instagram something or whatever. Because back in the day when you'd have a spell, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. An episode?
You'd have an episode, and your friends would be like, oh, you were so fucked up last night, dude. And you're like, what'd I say? Oh, you fucking, remember that chick? You were such a fucking idiot. You said, you kept calling everyone captain, and you kept explaining that we had to get back to Mexico, and you kept talking about Nazis. You called the bartender a Nazi, and you're like, oh, fuck, man. Except for it wasn't captured. You know what I mean? It wasn't there forever. It's just a sort of memory of you being fucked up, by the way, from other people who were fucked up. So it wasn't that bad. I don't know why, but this story just jumped in my head. On one of our many stay in Tijuana, sleep on the beach of Rosarita tours we used to go to every year. We just go there in trucks and flop out on the beach. And one night, we went into town. Can't remember if it was Tijuana or not, but we went into town and we went to a really bad strip bar. And one white, surfer guy was so obliterated that he climbed up on stage and dropped his pants and was waving his dick around. And, security was got him out of there. And it was funny. And just by chance, the next day, we're flopped out on the beach, and there's people flopped out, and surfer guys, and people drinking beer. And just from the group of dudes that was 10 feet away, we heard three of the guys going, dude, you were so wasted last night. You were on stage. You pulled your dick out on stage, dude. And the guy's defense was, we're in Mexico. Who cares? Nobody saw it. No one remembers it. And no one was there. So who cares? A couple of whores. But of course, we had to then go up and go, hey, it's the dude who had his dick out last night, which, of course, what could delight his friends more than that proclamation? But now everything is just forever captured in a tweet or a video or a snap, whatever, picture, whatever, and it's just there. Because in the past, Kanye or whomever would have an episode. And you just hear these sort of secondhand stories. He was out of his mind saying crazy shit, or he said this, or he said that, but it was never there. It couldn't pop up on TMZ.
Right. And maybe he did, maybe he didn't. It's a he said, she said.
It was always, you never could verify it.
Right.
Right.
So when I moved to New York when I was very, very young.
Although, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if we had high def video of like Fatty Arbuckle, drunker and shit, like dropping N-bombs out front of a club from 1932, you know, or, I don't know, Ginger Rogers or Buster Crabbe or Buster Keaton or something like
any Buster.
Old timey Biggie, the Marx Brothers. I mean, imagine Abbott and Costello, but just high def color of them in their 30s, like obliterated, and calling some motorcycle cop monkey nipples or something. I mean, that would be kind of cool to have now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just follow around Sinatra for years.
Imagine that.
What you get.
Oh, yeah. All right. Sorry. Go ahead, Gina. New York.
No, you actually saved me from myself. So let's move on to
New York.
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, I used to go to these like gay cabarets where everyone would like.
They're just called cabarets.
In the Village, and everyone would get up and sing and everything, and I may or may not have gotten up on a table and sang Dance 10 Looks 3 from Chorus Line, which everybody knows that song as Tits and Ass. And at the crescendo of the song, maybe I took my top off. Maybe I took all the top off. Maybe everybody was cheering and clapping. Maybe I got pulled off the table by the lesbian who owned the joint that said I was about to make them lose their liquor license. Put your clothes on. What's wrong with you? No record of it, except you just got to take my word for it.
Speaking of license to lick, the lesbian, I got to believe when she pulled you off stage, them big hands are waving in the air.
She was furious because apparently they don't have a license for that sort of thing. They take that.
No lick her license, huh?
Oh, okay.
It's almost assuredly video, high def security video.
Yeah, go
somewhere in the basement of New York, a New York cabaret.
Yeah, those are the good old days. So let's talk about when animals don't attack, because I have two videos that are really making the rounds right now. This woman climbed into an alligator pit and wandered freely around dozens of gators while she tried to fetch her wallet. And by the way, so did her young son. The scene played out at Safari North Wild Park. You'd think in Florida, but no, Brainerd, Minnesota, with people looking on, watching the mom and the son just kind of meander around down there with the gators. The woman's wallet was floating in the middle of the pond, chock full of alligators. The kid tried to get it, and when he came up empty, the mom tried her hand at it, and you'll see in the video, she kind of throws food out and kind of makes them go fetch it so she can fish out her wallet. I'll show you the video. Here, we have it right here. So there's, I don't know, maybe
don't do that, you'll get eaten.
8 or 9 year old.
Why? What'd she do? Like her wallet fell over the railing and landed in the water?
Or she threw it. Who knows? There it is. It's that tiny little pink dot near the ramp. Mom gets up on this plank.
Oh, dang.
The water's full of alligators. She's throwing food out to distract them.
She may be the ultimate Karen. I don't know. She may be the ultimate Karen, right?
They're swimming. They're swimming away so she can grab her wallet.
She's going into the water filled with alligators to get her wallet. And I'm not sure why her son is there, why? Oh, her son has walked around the back.
And no one's really concerned about him. And then she kind of climbs and shimmies herself back up onto the bridge.
I won't call this person an idiot, but that was a really smart move with the food.
My theory with wild animals is when you approach them, they seem confused and unready. They got to hit you when you're not ready. Like anytime anyone, you see guys go down and they like swim with a great white shark and they grab onto the fin and the shark's like, huh? Oh, I was not ready for this, but fine. The ones that get it are the surfer girls, right? When the shark just fucking jumps on them. Yep. It's like, it seems like wild animals have to do shit on their own terms. And when you come to them, they're like, I'm not ready to eat you. My thing is you go camping, you fall asleep, then I eat you.
Yeah, then I'll find you.
Yeah, then I find you. This is it's confusing to them.
I'm going to show you one right now, but I'm also sending one to Kaylin because there's another one from this weekend that I forgot to include. But first, this is a woman who's hiking in Chapinque ecological park in San Pedro Garcia, Mexico. And they're hiking. They're like 3 women, and it sounds like 1 man who's recording. And all of a sudden, a young black bear comes up to them, starts sniffing around. And she is as cool as a freaking cucumber. This clip has been seen over 3 million times. And he starts pawing at her, and she doesn't move a muscle. And I'll show it to you.
Bear's up on its hind legs. Turns out, I feel like bears could walk if they wanted to, if they just want to walk on their hind legs, because they pop up really easily and they just kind of stand around.
Definitely could.
Are they super lazy, or they have back problems?
I think it's more efficient. They're faster and probably less taxing on their legs and hips.
So he's kind of.
I'd mix it up, I'd mix it up like a batter who'll go hit from the left side and the right side of the box, or a boxer who'll do orthodox and who also do southpaw, switch up the stance. Like if I was a bear, he's pawing at her. If I was a bear, I'd walk on my hind legs half the time. Yeah, he was pawing at her.
So they're just standing still away from her. But the one I just sent to, there's morons we're on their turf, but that was a hiking thing and they did the right thing. The new one that's going around from NBC News, I just sent it to you, Kaylin. It's a woman trips running away from a bison, and you hear everyone, "Play dead!" And she's on the ground and everyone's screaming, "Play dead!" And the bison's like getting ready to like trample. And it is like, these people are terrified. I got to show you. This is from, I saw this last night. So I think this is brand new, and I think it was posted a day ago. But we love fucking with nature, and sometimes doesn't go our way. But so far, these people have been very lucky.
Where was she amongst bison?
I will tell you. She was. It says woman. Oh, Yellowstone.
There you go.
When I was a kid, very young, my dad taught at some special needs school, like that was out sort of Calabasas or something, I remember. I even think Danny Bonaducci went to that school for a while. It's fucked up kids school. And it was kind of on a ranch in like Calabasas-y, Malibu-y kind of valley side area. And there was a fence, like it looked like a pen, but it was like fenced off area. And there's a tire swing in this fenced off area. And I went with him one day just to go check it out or something. And I was like 9, and I jumped over the fence, and I was like, oh, I'm going to fuck around with this tire swing. And I realized there was a ram inside of that thing who used to ram the tire. They would just ram. It would just run and ram the tire. And rams just fucking ram whatever's around. Like if it's a tire, they'll ram a tire. And if it's a 9-year-old, it'll ram a 9-year-old. And I remember being scared shitless. This thing just started like charging at me, and I was running for the fence. Rams, like
it was training ground for rodeo clowns.
Yes, like it really was. All right,
we have that
yes,
video if you want to see it. Yeah.
Yes. It's bison. It's open country.
Now there's a human being laying down. You'll see. She just
charged.
Tripped. Do we have volume?
Hold on. Well,
there's no audio in this clip.
Oh, okay. So you, at least in the other clip, you hear people going, "Stay down, play dead, don't move," and the bison's sniffing around this woman and does a little bit of a charge thing, and
the husband is a good husband because he's trying to distract the bison, and it looks like he's trying to get her
back. Oh,
he's trying to get her.
I wonder if someone fired a gun. That bison ran
maybe
quickly.
Yeah, it's beautiful country, by the way, but
it is. But what do you think they're going to do?
Yeah, I don't.
Wander into a bison reserve?
Even if I think they're not going to do anything, even if there's a 3% chance that something that weighs 1,600 pounds is going to be angry at me, I stay clear, man.
Yeah.
That's
and
me.
Isn't it true? I've never been, if you can believe it, but isn't it true that Catalina, one of the trade-offs for giving the state Catalina was they had to keep it like 97% wildlife, and there's still a ton of buffalo that live on Catalina?
Yeah, there are tons of buffalo, and
it's where Wrigley used to do spring training.
And there's no cars.
Right, like all golf carts.
Everyone's in golf carts, and it's really. The water's really clear, and it's pretty damn lovely. I mean, it's one of those. it's kind of weird for a place that's as close as it is physically to where we are in Los Angeles. You'd think it'd be like you do a yearly trip to Catalina or even twice a year. It's like most people who live in Los Angeles have either never been there or been there twice in 26 years, But it's nice.
Do you think it's possible? Well, I mean, maybe not these days, but do you think there's somebody who was born on Catalina, went to school there, got married, and has never been off Catalina?
Ooh.
Like, do they have a hospital?
Jodie Foster's greatest role coming soon. I don't know, and I don't know if they have a whole school system and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
but
what are they going to do? Take a tugboat in every day? They have to have schooling.
We did a Kevin and Bean singles party on Catalina once. Me and Jimmy and Kevin and Bean and a bunch of singles. When Kevin and Bean used to do their singles parties, we took off to Catalina. There's probably some pictures on the internet of like Kevin and Bean singles party, Catalina. Me and Jimmy went. Now the boat ride, the slow boat there is like 2 hours. But if you're smart, you'll do what my kids did, or my daughter did, and my wife and their friends. Is they took a helicopter to Catalina.
That's fancy. That's like a half hour, right?
They picked a bad day to go. There's K through 12 school in Catalina Island. It's part of the Long Beach Unified School District. Oh boy, if you're part of Long Beach Unified, you better hope you're in Catalina. It was a funny story, but they I don't know. For me in life, it's not so much my life or their life on any given day, but it's kind of the juxtaposition of the life, which is the day they picked to take a helicopter to go to Catalina and ride the zip lines in Catalina. My daughter and wife and their friends and everything. The one, the trip I paid for.
Sure.
That day we were filming Catch a Contractor in Compton. And it was literally like a broken down 700 square foot house. And the problem was in the bathroom remod. And so me and Skip and like the cameraman and the bad contractor and the mom and the teenage daughter were all packed into a windowless bathroom in a fucking broken down house in Compton. And the fucking bathroom was like 4 foot by 4.5 feet. And it's like the cameraman's like trying to shut the door and get his back, and Skip's taking all the room. And the fucking homeowner's crying and screaming at the contractor. And the daughter's like, my daughter has asthma and I was just trapped in a bathroom in Compton with people screaming at each other the entire time. And I thought, where are those guys? I was like, oh, that's right. They're on a zip line. They're on a zip line over Catalina. Well, maybe they're still on the helicopter. But there I was in a bathroom in fucking Compton. And then I realized that's about it. You just want to know? Anyone wants to know anything? They just go, hey, in March 2016, where were you, Adam? Going to the bathroom in Compton. And where's your family? They're on a zip line. Okay. That's all we need to know.
I feel sorry for your daughter and wife.
You've got the entire picture. You've seen it all. That's all you needed to see. You know it all. You know my entire life. I mean, there are pictures, I think, Max and Pat, of them. Like, they're them hanging over. Well, there's definitely pictures that we have of them in the helicopter, like hanging out the fucking helicopter. It's weird. Airplanes don't have... Airplanes have doors that shut, and everyone goes nuts over their seatbelt. You get in an airplane, the doors shut, and everyone's like, are you wearing your seatbelt? Who's not wearing their seatbelt? You can't put your seatbelt on. You get into a helicopter doesn't even have doors. Everyone just hangs out of them, and no one says anything about seatbelts.
I'm not down.
It's a weird relationship with seatbelts, right?
Yeah.
Very much.
I've flown in a helicopter and stuff before. It's like they don't say anything about your seatbelt. They just like, sit here and there's no door. And then hang your foot out if you want. Go ahead.
I don't like it. Well, and they probably did this because this sounds common. A friend of mine who did the helicopter to Catalina, they go really low so you can put your hand in the water as you're going.
Terrific.
Like, it's right.
Well, the point is you get there in 20 minutes versus 2 hours at sea. We have a helicopter pick here, Mexico.
No, it's not a helicopter.
Oh,
It's just
zip line action. Yeah.
Look how little.
Look how much fun they're having. Except for Sonny.
In a bathroom.
Yeah, Sonny doesn't seem pleased.
Trapped in a bathroom in Compton with 5 dudes and no windows.
I'm sorry. I know this isn't the point of the story, but there is no way Sonny got on that zip line.
Sonny was such a wuss when he was a kid. I think he's getting over it now, but goddamn, zip lines in Catalina midweek. And people say to me all the time, they go, when are you going to have enough money? I go, when I can live the life that my wife and kids live. That's when I'll have enough money. Because I don't live their life. I'm in the bathroom in Compton. They're on the zip line on a Wednesday. That's the life I want. All right.
It's not like an 80s police chief like threatening to bust like his wild card detective. You'll be in a bathroom in Compton by the end of the week.
It was really, I've said a million times, people think it's show business. It is show business, but when you're in the bathroom in Compton, you're in a bathroom in Compton. I don't fucking care if it's show business or not. That's where you are. You spent your day in a bathroom in Compton with super angry homeowners and super angry or remorseful contractors. All right, let's do another one, Gina Grad, and then we'll get Romney on.
So a northern Michigan restaurant lost thousands of dollars in sales after a busboy said he had COVID-19. There was a big wedding planned. There was a rehearsal dinner, and everything was called off because this busboy got sick. The other big problem is that the employee wasn't sick. He just lied because he really wanted the day off.
Oh.
So Timbers Seafood was forced to close Friday and Saturday after this COVID-19 claim. It canceled a wedding rehearsal, a party. The timing was terrible for the restaurant, which is trying to recover from basically losing their peak season with the closing orders. The employee confessed to the lie Saturday night. The manager says he feels bad for the kid who lied, but unfortunately, this is now a police matter. And this is not the first. I have another story we never got to of a guy who got arrested also for lying and saying he had COVID.
It used to be during simpler times, you just like phone in a bomb threat. Like if you didn't want to go to a school or your job, working maintenance at the museum or something like that, you just phone in a bomb threat. Or you didn't want to go work at the Cinnabon over at LAX, just like phone in a bomb threat. And that's the way you get out of it. Yeah. What is the other story? Sorry.
I have it. Let's see. Basically the same thing. I will tell you right. Oh, here. FBI. Oh, this was from like maybe 2 weeks ago. The FBI arrested a man for calling in sick with COVID-19. Santuan Davis charged for defrauding his employer. He worked for a Fortune 500 company. Due to his fake diagnosis, they unnecessarily quarantined employees, closed the doors, disinfected for days. Very costly. An investigation uncovered Davis's lie. It started once they learned in mid-March at a company seminar that workers were guaranteed to be paid if quarantined. Davis called in an unsigned letter from a hospital that did not perform a COVID test. So his head was in the right place. Me and all my coworkers get paid leave, but he did get caught and charged.
Yeah. All I do is think about sports and football season and when we're going to do open and how we're going to open. And I have this, every year I just long for the opening of football season. Part of it is the change in the weather. Another part is kind of the social aspect of it, because there's just nothing better than just eating the drumettes or the wings and the beers with the dudes and cracking wise and making jokes. But are they going to forego the preseason? Were we talking about that? And also, it's weird. I'll tell you what's a weird thing to have in your life. A weird thing to have in your life is I have discussed going to the Indianapolis 500 more than 500 times. And the answer is always like, they may have it, or they may do it at the limited, they're going to do it at a half capacity. Then it's like, oh, they're doing it at a quarter capacity. And then it's like, oh, they had a flare up. Like, the part that they're not really talking about with this whole situation is everyone's talking about, livelihood and lockdown and, it's not business as usual and all that. But also, you don't realize how much your life is planning this thing. Like, we're going to Indy. If we're going to Indy, we got to get tickets. We got to get laminates. We got to get a hotel. But we're not sure if this thing's happening or not. You know, there's a professional Trans Am race at the end of the year. It's like, I want to do that Trans Am race in December. Yeah, they don't know if they're the part that's really pretty frustrating in a first world white guy kind of a problem is I'm used to planning my entire year out, events, corporate events, stand-up events, races, Indy, whatever. It goes out months out into the future, and you can't really do that anymore. Everything's like a caveat, which is it could be on, but we don't know.
You have to have flexible cancellation on Airbnb. And speaking of that, this funny meme is going around about Halloween. It says, don't fuck this up. Halloween 2020 has a full moon, gets an extra hour at 2 a.m. because of daylight savings, is on a fucking Saturday. Everybody do their part to stop the spread of COVID, because I will light you on fire if Halloween is canceled.